candidate going on, so, but
Exactly.
that's
You got if you're going to be paper candidate, let us know that. But if you're not, go for the glory. Do it. I'm not going to toot my own horn. I'm busting my ass to try to get as many votes as I possibly can in my campaign. And I'm never gonna. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna let everybody else say how they feel I'm doing. I wish I had more access to media, more money. Everybody does, but for what I tried in 2019, what I tried this year, when it comes to fundraising, I got to thank Paul Vasquez for that. I mean, he did a great job telling me that angle, and that angle worked well for me. I
right.
mean, and I want to see what the results are at the end. I mean, at the end of the day, I know I'm not ashamed of what I've done, what I've done. I believe I've pushed the liberty message for it, and
Right.
and getting the VCDL. Hopefully, something continues that people that are in Republican districts will get that thing. It's historical for us. It's a win. It's a win on something that you would never think in a million lines that they would pick a libertarian over a Republican for. And
Hmm.
I'm honored to be the person that got it. I would have loved to see more than one. I would love to see Joe Pascal get one, and Charlie West. And we have the silencing. I don't know if you've seen that, the silencing of Charlie West down at Hampton City Schools when he went to talk about the Celeste situation, which was a girl that was raped in school, and they sent her to a private school. But the school board basically censored his speech. He turned off his microphone when he was speaking, and then turned it back on when he was talking. And let other people do it, but when he went to speak, they turned him off. That's censorship, and it's wrong.
Right.
Censor the libertarian. That's all I want to do is censor the libertarian, or censor. I'll give Princess Blanding. I'm not a fan of hers. I'm not a fan of her party, but you know when she tried to stand up at the debate and trying to get her name out there. I understand that you're censoring good candidates. You're censoring good people, and when you censor good people and good candidates, you're not letting everybody hear it. That's why I get out there and I'm trying to talk to as many as possible. That's why I went to the early voting things even by myself and just stood out there and worked with people. I think it works. The Republicans, believe it or not, in Bedford County are really pushing towards their main push is for those writing candidates for school board. That's awesome. That allows me to get my opportunity to see that. You don't see my opponents going out there and talking to people because they're not. They're going to $100 a ticket meals for a ham dinner with the Republican Party in Botetourt, and not every not every candidate has made of money. Money shouldn't be what you look at. It should be the way a person's going to save money and how that person acts out in public and how a person acts should be the clear decision. If something's not working, you need to change it.
Right.
I
All
mean,
right. Well,
you got nurses who are about to lose their jobs because they want the vaccine, and that's to me that's awful because it's a choice. It's a personal choice. It's not a you shouldn't have to comply with that. It should be a personal decision. I might have the vaccine. You may not have the vaccine. At the end of the day, we're making choices for ourselves, and that's the way that America's brought up. It's not supposed to be. I force you, Brian, to get that vaccine because I'm the government and you're the little minion, and I say you need that vaccine.
right. All right. So everybody, welcome to Maximum Libertarian right here on YouTube. We clicked the go live button a little early while we were in the middle of conversation. But
Hey,
as always, I want to everything that we speak about tonight will be on our Twitter page. Is that we are Max Lib. Please go there, subscribe to it, or follow us. So that way you can see all the links of all the stories that we're going to be speaking about tonight. And I'm joined tonight, as usual, by the one and only Dean D. Davison. And I guess when we go to, we're asking you to please go to YouTube. If you're watching, well, you're watching us on YouTube, maybe. Click the notification bell. And what should they do?
smash that like button, or else, the
Yes.
map will be violated, and we'll smash you.
Right. So click the
I like
subscribe
joking.
button, hit the notification bell, smash that like button.
Smash it.
Absolutely. And real quick, we will go right here. Dean is only a few days away from the big election. November 2nd, here's all the information about Dean, www.davison4delegate, and that's his Facebook page and his Twitter handle. Please go there, follow him, subscribe to him.
And you wonder why. One of the reasons I haven't been on this for a little bit is because I've been out talking to the constituents. It's a busy time, but never too busy to get on here when I can with Brian and Maximum Libertarian, because it's an awesome podcast.
Right. All right. And so Dean spoke about it a little bit earlier, just right before I started speaking. And let's just first see this first story. Let's see, go to add to stream. And it says hundreds of thousands of U.S. troops will not comply with the vaccine mandate as the deadlines near. Hundreds of thousands of U.S. service members remain unvaccinated or only partially vaccinated against the coronavirus at the Pentagon's first compliance deadline nears. The lopsided rate across the individual services and spike in deaths among military reservists, illustrating how political divisions over the shot has seeped into nonpartisan force within ambiguous forces. And inside the article, so we've got 2.1 million troops, and he wants them all immunized. And as you can see right here, for instance, 90% of the active duty Navy is fully vaccinated, 72% of Marines, and Air Force, more than 60,000 personnel have 3 weeks before to meet the Defense Department's ambiguous deadline. And does it say anything about the Army? No, because the Army's horrible, I guess.
Other than that, are they're the ones that have the least vaccination rate that want to talk about it?
Well, that's a possibility. That's a possibility too. But here we go. We've got now. Here we are, and now let's go over here to this story. Right here from Forbes, in a dramatic turn, the once heralded nurses and healthcare workers are being fired for not getting their vaccine shots. And you go down here, and as you were talking about, we have multiple nurses losing their jobs because they don't want to get vaccinated.
Yep, and I guess I'll jump in here with my thoughts on both of them. The military, they're there putting their life on the line every day, and how dare you tell them what they have to do? That should be something that's not mandatory. I understand what the government's trying to do. I understand what Biden's trying to do. I mean, we gotta love all these football stadiums, all these NASCAR events, all the people in the world that are saying "fuck you, Biden." Sorry, I'm going to use that French. It's great. You go on TikTok and you look under FYB chants. You'll get a laugh, but you'll see how many places are doing this in their stadiums. And they're trying not to. It's this. He's not doing the right thing for the right reasons. I understand he wants the people to be vaccinated. Like I said, it's a personal choice. I am vaccinated. I will get my booster probably in 2-3 weeks because I'm a first responder. I make that choice. That's a choice I make. That's not should be pushed on anybody else. So the military busts their ass, gets their, wants them to get your shots, but at the same time, they're out there going to all these other countries and sacrificing their lives. And who should tell them anything? That's what I say. Who should tell them anything? If they want to get vaccinated, let them. If not, so be it. But why are you making them do it? It's just not, to me, it's not right. It's a personal decision. And nurses, see, and that's where I have the problem with, and they're going to let those military people go. So now you have less of a Navy. As a libertarian, we accomplish some stuff, less troops to do foreign things, but that's not the way we should do it. It's not what should be done. It should be done differently with all of our troops who've sacrificed for their lives in wars, have done stuff for the homeland, have done stuff during the COVID-19 pandemic, the hurricanes, you name it, they've done it, and they bust our ass every single day. And we need to respect our troops like we respected our troops September 12th of 2011 and have that kind of pride. We're all divided for a damn reason. It's because these damn politicians that are getting in office are dividing us. We need to all sit there and think about that and get on the same team and be a united country. Here's the other thing. Nurses. Yes, there's a nursing code of ethics. There is something called a nursing code of ethics, and they say, do everything to prevent harming your patients. Well, I can understand why some people say that and say you need to get the shot. But like again, who is to tell the nurses who went through a year and a half of this shit, seeing this and have mental health issues, I'm sure up there with and we're not even touching that yet. What's going to happen with mental health and these nurses, and you're making them go and get vaccinated. What's the point? It's a personal choice. Once again, it's a personal choice. It's no, somebody wants to take that chance of getting COVID and passing. That's on them. If they get just like the schools are these days, you get quote unquote exposed, you have to go out for 10 days. They understand that, but it's the same with the vaccinated people now. So it's terrible. It is, and the more speaking as a fireman, I can tell you this: the more nurses we lose, the harder it is going to be to get an ambulance to the hospital and have hospital beds, because most of these, we have something called diversion, where you have to divert away from different because of COVID or other things. Well, if you have your broken femurs and stuff like that, your tragic trauma accidents, and you have your COVID patients and your regular sick people that are just coming to the hospital, but you don't have the people to take care of you, guess what? You're going to be on diversion. So you're going to sit possibly in a tent. Sorry about that. A tent outside for a day and a half while you're waiting to get it and seen because you don't have enough nurses. So it hurts everybody. It really does hurt everybody. And we're going to let somebody that has a heart attack die because they want your nurse to be vaccinated? Come on. If they have to wear a mask as it is. It's protocol in the hospitals. So what the hell is the issue? Because masks do work, and I will say that just because I've had personal experience. But why are you hurting those people? Why are you hurting the nurses? Why are you hurting the people that have done the most for you during this pandemic are the ones that you're going after? And I don't even think I can't consider Joe Biden really even a president, because being a commander in chief, the hell with that. He's a phony, and the quicker we can get him out of office, the better off, because he's going to hurt and kill people. And like I said, mental health. What about all these nurses that will get laid off? What is their first thing? They've been working for a year and a half with COVID patients that have been dying, suffocating to death. And what are they going to do? Where are they going? Do they have family? Maybe not. Maybe not. Are they going to commit suicide? It's a high possibility, because they've seen shit that regular Americans haven't seen. They haven't seen them suffocate. They haven't seen the loved ones lose their people. And damn it, people, I swear, I'm sorry, I'm just being like this, but it's the mental health situation in this whole situation is awful. Overdoses are up. Drinking's up. Suicide's up. Veteran suicides through the roof. First responder suicides high. Come on. We need the people to understand that it needs to be a choice. It shouldn't be forced upon nobody. And I'm just talking passionate through what I see and what I've heard from very close friends that are working in a hospital, or what I've seen on the streets from a personal level.
Well, what is bothering me so bad right now is I believe there is a Supreme Court ruling. I'd have to double check it real quick about companies being able to force a vaccine onto an individual.
100 or more employees, you have to have the vaccine.
No, that's what Joe Biden is.
But I believe the Supreme Court's trying to overrule.
Done. But it was Supreme Court actually back in the early 1900s. I'd have to double check this real quick that allows it to happen. The government, I don't think, it really has a very, very, very it should have a very, very limited ability to mandate things like it does. But considering what we now have, we have businesses complying to something that could possibly be illegal. You've just seen Project Veritas come out with an expose on Pfizer, and it leads back to fetal cells, aborted fetal cells. And I climb down any rabbit hole, but this is coming from Pfizer, and this is also coming from Project Veritas, and they have done a wonderful thing about pushing out their their video and exposing the vaccine. So in turn, if an individual wants to have a religious belief against it, no, guess
Yeah,
what?
right.
They're not allowed to. And this Pfizer individual employee stated that, as science has told us, getting sick and having the antibodies from being sick with either chicken pox or COVID or whatever it might be, you're better off. And for some reason for this disease, we're not allowed to talk about any science or anything that we've done for the past hundreds of thousands of years of basic stuff. Like I've said in the past, and I know I've beaten a dead horse here, but vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc,
keeping yourself healthy is going to help you when it comes to if you are not vaccinated and get it. Getting the vaccine, it's been proven that it doesn't make people as sick. I mean, yeah, but that's like I said, it's all about choice. It shouldn't be about politics and left versus right on whether you get it or not.
What these leaders, our dear leaders, are doing is we've got planes flying over top of Taiwan, and Donald Trump was supposed to lead us to World War III, but it looks like it's the war-hungry Democrats that'll lead us to World War III with China and Taiwan,
Russia,
and I don't know if. So the last thing you really want to do is start removing, your troops unless they want to lose. And then you've got the nurses, and we need nurses and doctors in the hospitals, yet they're just proudly allowing them to walk away.
Even sicker is they allow travel nurses more money than the nurses that are in the systems. That's even sadder. Right. I understand the benefits of traveling, but you should be paying your faithful employees that are staying that money.
Right. Well, I guess really what I'm trying to say here is for myself, what I'm trying to say is I was listening to Tim Pool and Dave Smith and several other folks that they've talked, and they say, well, if your job comes up and tells you like either take the vaccine or do this, you instead of complying, you've got to just say, all right, double middle finger, and you walk out of the door, and they said it might be hard on you, and you just got to do it. You know what it's time for, really? It's time for that upper level manager to say to the workers, I'm going to stand with you. And then you have the upper over top of that mid-level manager saying, I'll stand with you. And then eventually that fucking CEO or the government, if everyone's saying, no, we're not, this is a choice, guess what? They're not going to do anything if everyone stands up. But we're all getting on our knees and licking the boots. And, because the reality, and this is reality, is not everyone has the ability. I know it's easier said than done. And, I could quit my job. But if it comes down that I have to get vaccinated, well, guess what? I'm going to have to get vaccinated because I don't have the ability to just walk away. I have
most people don't.
And that's why other people who believe that it should be not a mandate but a choice should be standing up and saying it. But what we get right now is everyone just keeps their head down. They just do it, and then they'll whisper to us. Hey, it's like being them folks that are following. I'm a libertarian. I'm a libertarian, and they just whisper. No, you need to fucking say it, man.
Here's the other thing. Here's another thing for you. When you talk about that, scared to say it. Well, the question came up to me during my interview Friday for WSLS. Where do you stand on how vaccination should be? And I said it's choice. It's choice whether you get it or you don't get it. It's not. I'm going to be in my candidacy and the way I am. I'm just brutally honest with things. I'm not scared to hide what I believe. It's like I said. I might be vaccinated, but I won't want to force it on somebody else.
Right.
You have to weigh your own risk and your own decision making based on it, and that's how I did it because of diabetes and having higher blood pressure and have had asthma, but not as bad anymore. Um, but that and then being the exposure potential being a first responder, it was kind of like after I didn't immediately go get it. I stopped and waited, did some research, and said, okay, I believe this is probably the best bet for me because of the situations, but not
Well,
because.
once again, you get to make the decision. And number
Yeah,
two, once again, like I said, people above me need to start saying, I agree with you and I will stand with you. What you're having right now is doctors and nurses being marched out the door. But I can guarantee you right now, if more people were telling that CEO or whoever, no, we're not going to do this. We're not going to make more stress on the teachers. We're not going to make more stress on the nurses or the military. They will back down. I'm guaranteeing it.
I don't even want to start with Bedford County and the fact that I was out doing that thing. One of the things I heard was they threw multiple kids in an isolation room that had asthma because they need to take their mask off. How dare you do that to a kid? You should. That's effing communism. I hope they remove the people that are in charge of the school board. They need to restart their school board. It's garbage. That is, totally against. I don't care if that's coming from a Republican's mouth or coming from a Democrat's mouth, a Libertarian, a Green. I don't care where it's coming from. That's just communism. To throw some people in isolation rooms, that's just wrong.
Well, be it here or there, we've got two stories here. Nurses are being marched out the door, the military being marched out the door, and no one really cares. So I guess in the end of the day, you've got two options. You got to speak out. You've got to vote for individuals like Dean here that'll say, hey, let it be not a choice, not a mandate. You need that. And then you need to you just got to fucking do things and start spreading the word. You also got to practice what you preach. A lot of times what you see with, like, for instance, I'll give you an example. You'll have individuals who march around for climate change, and they say, well, climate change is real and the world's getting hotter, but they're flying in their big jets. They live in a nice mansion, and
Burning all that illegal shit.
what they want is they want individuals like me and you and any other individuals that are middle class and below, or just doing okay, but maybe not the wealthiest of the crew. They want us to suffer. They want to live good. So if you Seth MacFarlane, for example, a Family Guy, I remember one time he goes, I always say, we got to take more taxes from the rich. And people will say, well, if you want to pay more taxes, then give your money to the IRS. And he's like, well, that won't benefit anybody. My little
We're gonna find that out hard way with the $600 thing next year.
Well, that's a whole nother story. But the $1 million, but he's like, I won't do it because, like, my little $1 million isn't going to make a dent. But by him actually giving all the money that he's supposedly stealing from the government, you practice what you preach. And I think that's something that we must do as libertarians. And I want to see more people, more libertarian candidates call for school choices. I want to hear more libertarians start speaking about the largest minority in America, in the world, and that's the individual. And hey, let's get this stuff squared away, because I think we're on a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous road that we're going to split this country up, possibly. I don't know if it's going to be violently or if it's going to be, as a peaceful divorce. And then if that happens, then I can tell you, China will move in. We're going to have other dangerous individuals will move in and start taking over blocks of the country.
Correct.
If it was,
they're doing that anyway with the debt ceiling, expanding that. We'll go to that another day. But Jesus Christmas.
Well, let's be honest, man. If anyone who had a fantasy that they weren't going to raise the debt ceiling, I've got a bridge to sell you. So let's be honest, that was the reality. So hey, I see you got something here you want to pull up. Let me pull that up real quick.
Yes, it's to the fans of all the people, the Simpsons specifically, and people that dislike our president.
Fuck Joe Biden! Fuck Joe Biden!
Hey, are they saying fuck Joe Biden?
I was saying, let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
Are you saying fuck Joe Biden or let's go Brandon?
Fuck Joe Biden!
Huh?
I was saying, let's go, Brandon.
Well,
Who doesn't love?
that's a very, very good one. And
I mean, especially when you have the guy throwing the glasses at him.
right. And the sad thing is that lady, she's a NASCAR reporter, and she pretty much that's the media. And she was able to show you.
They're saying, I was watching it. They're saying, let's go, Brandon, and it's clearly coming across. Fuck Joe Biden.
Yeah, she should have just kept her mouth shut and played stupid. Like, I don't know what.
I say this. Why don't CNN get involved with all these places that have this? What are you going to start doing for football games? Muting things because they're saying it in the crowd. I mean, it's going to happen. It's happening already. Most of your what do you call it? Your college football, and they're doing it there. It's a movement. It's great.
Yeah, I'm happy for him.
And he's a horrible president. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, he's horrible.
Well, let's be honest. Well, if we want to be honest, when we can go on who wasn't a horrible president, because let's see, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Barack Obama, George Bush, Bill Clinton, George Bush, Ronald Reagan. You know what I'm saying? We can keep on going. They've all got us into wars. They've all raised the debt. They've all done some horrific stuff, and they now have blood on their hands, and they get to speak to a higher power about it when it's all set and done. But that's a whole nother thing. Let's warn real quick. Your website, davesonfordelegate.com. How many days until the election?
Oh boy, got me good there. Let's see. It's
November 2nd. So
14, 24, 25, 26 days.
All right, so 26 days till the election. So there's still time if you go to davesonfordelegate.com and you can make a donation. We need your help by working precincts and handing out flyers in all the localities, putting up signs. And that's about it. Is there anything else you got to say, Dean?
I appreciate everybody that's been helping, and any help's a good help, and hope to see some good numbers on election night from all these people that I've talked to and gotten support from. And we're going to go from there. The message got to keep pounding the message forward. God forbid, it's possible I could win. It's not impossible because of the hatred, more hatred, I would say, for the incumbent and a Democrat that shouldn't even really be jumping in a race. I mean, it's their right to, but this is not an area that they've ever done good in. So it kind of splits it nicer. It gives me a better opportunity. So I'm hoping to see some good numbers. I've worked hard. We've worked hard because you're my campaign manager, obviously, and people that donate it, believe in what I believe in. And God forbid if I don't win, I want my stuff that I've pushed for it to be passed. So I'll continue to push it. I don't think I'll be done with running for office. Maybe not for House delegates, but for something further down the line. But at this point, I'm looking just to see what happens with the election. I mean, we don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people jumping, a lot of Republicans jumping the incumbent. So it's a dog race. And we'll see if my dog gets pulled out of the hat for me to go to Richmond. And if that's the case, we'll have a lot of fun because a lot of the deciding votes will come down to me. And I'm built on principle and doing the right thing. So that would be so good for the area, the district, and the state, and good for the party. So
absolutely. So all right. Well, once again, thank you very much for coming on tonight, and for anyone that listens or have listened, please go to our YouTube channel, click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and then
smash that like button. And fuck Joe Biden.
That's right. Smash the like button. Follow us on Twitter at WeAreMax. Lib. We are Max Lib on Twitter. And until tomorrow, because we will be back tomorrow night, we're going to get back into a regular swing of this. I'll guarantee that I'll have a better internet connection because I'm in the process of converting my room into a more of a podcast studio. But you'll see that in the coming weeks. All right. So until tomorrow, I'm Brian.
I'm Dean.
And we'll see you later. Good night.